everyone, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is advice from the future, from your future self. So there are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest selecting the pile that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 3, Imagine and Envision, because the koi fish on this card reminds me of the koi pond that my great aunt had, and she lived next to this farm that some of my distant relatives still own. And when we would go there for like family reunions, I would stop by her house and look at all the koi. And it's something that I've always wanted when I can actually have a yard of my own. So I will put the timestamps for each pile in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, Affirmation for Acceptance, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Ace of Wands, the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the Chariot. For your Making Magic cards, we got Tree of Life and Perseverance. All right, my pile 1, so what is your advice from the future? We start off your spread with this Ace of Wands, and immediately what I'm hearing is that either currently or in the near future, you will start on a new project, whatever that may be. Maybe you've decided you want a career change, you start a new job, you decided you want to take up a new hobby, you're really trying to pursue your dreams. For a lot of you, this is an artistic endeavor. The Ace of Wands is a card that can be about creativity, and if you look at this card, there's a book that someone's been writing, there's painting, there's like sports even is something that you could take up. But with the 7 of Wands next to this, you are facing a lot of opposition in pursuing this dream or this goal of yours. So it could be that the people around you aren't very supportive, or you don't have the financial means, you don't have the time, other people think it's silly, or maybe truthfully you are not as skillful as you need to be to really like sustain having that hobby be a part of your life long term. Whatever it is, you definitely feel the pressure of these people or these situations coming at you, and it feels like the odds are really stacked against you, but you're very stubborn, you're very headstrong, and when you want something, when you're passionate about something, you definitely go after it. And that's what's coming through in the middle card in your spread, this Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is someone who is extremely passionate, but sometimes to a fault. Sometimes they lack being able to see the world around them and how what they want is not necessarily what's aligned with the universe or what's going on for them, because they are so passionate and so headstrong. And with the 6 of Swords as the 4th card in your spread, this 6 of Swords is a card of transition away from something rough into something smoother. And so I'm seeing you learning to say, okay, there are certain things about this situation that are out of my control, and no matter how hard I fight against it, I can't change other people's minds. I can't change this aspect of it that would make it a lot easier for me. I can't change the fact that I have to work a full-time job and I don't have all the time in the world to do this other thing. You learn to accept the things that you cannot change and decide to move forward while keeping that in mind. And as I said, the 6 of Swords is moving from something that is no longer serving you into something that is more tranquil, more peaceful, and more aligned with your life and the direction that the universe wants you to go into. And that's why also we're ending your spread with this Chariot. So you go from someone, the Knight of Swords, who is pursuing their passion so diligently that they might be hurting themselves and others in the process, to this 6 of Swords, learning to let go of trying to control the situation all the time, learning what you can and cannot control, learning what you can and cannot change, accepting that, and moving forward to the Chariot, which is a card about, one, learning how to compromise. It's learning how to balance the emotions of the people around you and yourself with your goals, because the Chariot is traditionally an indicator of Cancer, the zodiac sign, and Cancer is a cardinal sign, so they are really leaders, but Cancers also have this reputation as being very sensitive. So there's this duality of being both someone who can take charge and someone who is also really sensitive to the moods and the changes of the universe around them. And so you develop a heightened sensitivity when it comes to this thing. And I think that's really more being kind to yourself and not allowing yourself to get so caught up in the completion of a goal that you lose track of your health, your happiness. And the Chariot is also a card of victory. So once you decide to let go of what you can't accept, you will be more victorious in the things that you can change, because you won't be devoting as much time and energy, as much anger, as much frustration into these things that won't change no matter how much you argue, no matter how much you push. And for a lot of you, I'm getting that you could be Geminis or Cancers, or have prominent Gemini Cancer placements in your natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Also for others of you, I'm getting that this could be happening like in the next few months, this Gemini Cancer timeline, because Gemini season started a few days ago at the end of May, goes through most of June, and Cancer season starts in June and goes through most of July. So within the next few months, it seems like this might be really something that's weighing on you a lot, is feeling like you really want this thing to happen for yourself, but you have all of these obstacles or all of these people that are in your way. And at first you're going to want to push back and fight and try to prove yourselves to them, but your future self is really advising you to just accept that you can't really control how other people see you. You can't control certain circumstances in your life. And instead of dwelling on the things that you can't change, you should focus on the things that you can change and go forward with that and try to be successful in that way, because the things that you can't change are just frustrating you and taking away the energy from the things that you are passionate about, this new hobby, this new job, whatever the situation is. And that's all really reflected in the pile marker that you selected, this affirmation for acceptance, which is about just what I said. It's about letting go of the things you can't change, figuring out what you can change and working from there, and not devoting energy to people or situations that are not serving you. Your first Making Magic card is Tree of Life, which says true wisdom in making good choices in life. So again, I think the good choice here is learning to let go when it's not serving you, and making this transition from being someone who is maybe fighting too hard and coming off as a little bit obnoxious because you're pushing back so much against these situations or these people that are against you that it's almost like reflecting poorly on you, and your future self is saying, no, you need to let it go and then just decide, I'm going to be victorious on my own. I don't need approval. I don't need outside resources. I don't need these things that I can't give to myself, and I'm not going to beg someone to change. I'm not going to beg someone to see the value in what I'm doing. Your second Making Magic card is Perseverance, which says the motivation to keep going despite the odds. So again, even though you have the odds stacked against you in the Seven of Wands card, even though there's people who don't like what you're doing, who don't like what you're pursuing, even though it feels like there's outside circumstances that are trying to beat you down, you have such a strong-mindedness and such a passion for this that it's very easy for you to continue going and to continue to pursue this thing, this dream, whatever it is that you're going after. But the only way to maintain this level of perseverance and the energy that you can keep to persevere is by letting go of this Knight of Swords, almost combative energy, letting go of what you can't change and deciding, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to put energy towards trying to disprove people. I'm going to put energy towards trying to prove to myself what I can do. And that's really cool. So congratulations, my pile ones. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2, Learn from Life, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 5 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. For your Making Magic cards, we got Self-Confidence and Time to Shine. All right, my pile 2, so what is your advice from your future self? We start off your spread with this 5 of Wands. So what I'm hearing is that for a lot of you, you are participating in relationships, whether that's romantic situations, situationships, friendships, where you are being discarded, or it feels like maybe you're always in competition with this person. They're always trying to assert themselves as better than you in some kind of way, or you have petty arguments all the time. It's just not feeling like a very healthy relationship between you and this person or these people. And the reason why you have stuck around and been okay with this is because the 5 of Wands is minor arcana, so it's not really a huge deal. It's not like a huge blowout fight, but it's enough to where you feel annoyed or hurt, but you still have care for this person, affection for this person, and that's why you don't want to give up on them. For a lot of you, this really feels to me like a relationship where maybe you really like this person and you don't want to have to break up with them or leave them. You just want them to treat you better. But it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be any relationship with a family member, friend, coworker, anything like that. And with the 8 of Cups here, this is really your advice, is learning to walk away and figure out that you're worth more than putting up with these kind of grievances or always feeling like you're doing something wrong or you're not measuring up, because the 8 of Cups is a card of transition. And in particular, it's transitioning away from something that is not something that you don't want anymore. If you look at this card, she's leaving the 8 cups behind. There's nothing wrong with these cups. And that's how you feel. You're like, well, I don't feel like it's that serious for me to cut this person off or walk away or anything. But also, I'm not satisfied. And that's exactly what the 8 of Cups embodies. It's saying, although the thing that's here served a purpose for me at some point, and maybe I still do crave it because of the familiarity, because I do have emotions connected to it, I have, time invested into it, I know that there's something more fulfilling out there for me. I know that there's something better for me out there. And so your advice from your future self is to learn how to step away from these situations, these relationships where you are, I just heard, there's a metaphor that if you're used to like begging for crumbs in a relationship, then you will, lick crumbs off of a knife and be happy with it. You'll kind of accept what you can get. You'll be grateful if you get a scrap of bread instead of just a crumb. You know what I mean? So your future self is really advising you to come into your self-worth and your boundaries and say, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I need more than what this relationship, what this person is offering me, and stepping away from that. And you are transitioning into this 9 of Pentacles, which is one of my favorite cards in the tarot, because a lot of the times it can be a card about being alone but not lonely. This is someone who is very confident by themselves. And if look at her, she's eating good food, she's drinking good wine, she's reading a nice book, she's out in the garden, her tree is fruitful. This is someone who has all their own resources, who can do things for themselves, who takes care of themselves. And that's one of the other lessons that I'm getting from your future self here, is that you need to put the care that you put into other people into yourself. Because look how happy you could be lounging around, doing what you want, enjoying the fruits of all your labor because you've put it into yourself and cultivating yourself and taking care of yourself. And then we have, after that, the King of Cups. So this is a new person that will come in once you've decided to cut off these other people. This is why for a lot of you, I do think that this has romantic resonances. So if you're holding on to an ex, if you're still dating someone who's not good for you, cut them off. Learn how to take care of yourself and be happy by yourself. Learn how to establish those boundaries, and then the right person will come in. Because the King of Cups is the right person here. This is someone who's very emotionally available, emotionally intelligent. They could be a Scorpio or have a prominent Scorpio or other water sign placement, so Cancer or Pisces placement in their natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But generally, this person tends to be very kind, emotionally open. They tend to be creative, maybe poetic. They really like romance and romancing people. They enjoy like watching movies, looking at art together. They are really honest. They're very patient. So if you have any reservations from how you were treated in the past, this person understands that. And overall, I think that this person will really be a nice fixture in your life, and I do see them being there for an extended period of time. So like I said, for a lot of you, I do feel like this is a romantic situation, and this is the new person that's coming in for you. So your future self is trying to tell you, don't worry, if you leave this person or if you let go of them, that there's no one else out there for you, because you will find someone better who treats you better than whatever this person is. But it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friendship. So maybe this is a new friend that you have coming in. It could be you're cutting off a situation with your family member, and then another family member kind of steps up, or you find someone to be a part of your chosen family. You get a new mentor, something like that. And with the Six of Wands at the end of your spread, the Six of Wands is a card all about victory and celebration and also recognition. So I'm getting that not only do you feel like you are having the kind of relationship, friendship, whatever it is that you have wanted, but you're also really feeling seen in a way that you were not feeling seen in your past romantic or platonic situations by this King of Cups figure. And this is all reflected in the pile marker that you selected, this Learn from Life, which is really a card about learning from your lessons and continuing to grow instead of repeating cycles. So I think maybe the cycle here is accepting less than what you give to other people. Maybe that's something that you keep repeating in your relationships, and you haven't really learned how to step up and say, I'm not going to do that anymore, but your future self is really encouraging you to do that, to walk away from this 5 of Wands situation and to transition into this 9 of Pentacles, so that way your King of Cups can come in. Your first Making Magic card is Self-Confidence, which says strong belief and a sense of worth, which again goes hand in hand with this 8 of Cups and this 9 of Pentacles, because in order to walk away from the 5 of Wands, in order to say, I know that there's something better out there for me, you have to believe that you are deserving of something better. You have to have that sense of worth for yourself. And then with the 9 of Pentacles, this to me exudes confidence. It's all about feeling comfortable by yourself, feeling comfortable in who you are and the boundaries that you have established. And your second Making Magic card is Time to Shine, which says creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. So coming into this 9 of Pentacles energy, being comfortable by yourself, taking care of yourself, cultivating the kind of life that you want to live, where you don't have people who are, breadcrumbing you, basically. You are opening up the space in your life for people who actually want to have a symbiotic relationship with you, who want to give just as much as you are willing to give, who are just as caring and affectionate as you. And that's evidenced by the King of Cups as the fourth card in your spread, this person that's coming in once you step into this Nine of Pentacles energy. So that is a really beautiful reading, I think. Congratulations, my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, Imagine and Envision, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Ten of Pentacles, the Hangman, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and the Two of Wands. For your Making Magic cards, we got Mystic Star and Star. All right, my pile 3, so what is your advice from your future? We start off your spread with this Ten of Pentacles, and what I'm hearing is that recently your life has been good, great even. You have people that care about you, maybe you live with your family and you always get along really well, you have friends that you like, you have a job that pays you well, or you feel like you're on the right path. You feel stable where you're at, and that's nice and comforting, and you feel glad to be where you are. But we have the Hangman next to this, which is a card of also feeling stagnant. I think you are so used to everything being stable now that maybe you are looking toward the future and wondering, what else is out there for me? I want to explore more. I want to do more. I want to have these other things in my life. And it's not that my current life is bad. I just feel like, is this it? Is this all there is? Because I want more. Maybe you are kind of a restless person. I'm getting the sense that for a lot of people in this pile, you are very hardworking. And once you put your mind to a goal, you go after it until you achieve it. And then once you achieve it, you don't really just kind of sit in it and let it marinate. You're constantly thinking, okay, well, what next? It's hard to really kind of appreciate the novelty of the situation you're in when you're already in it. I read this article about an album the other day, and the singer on the album said something like, when I was a kid, all I really wanted was to become a rock star and be able to tour and play shows and have like an album out. And now I get to do that, and it's really awesome. I'm really glad that I got to, but also it doesn't answer any of these questions, these life questions about self-fulfillment or my purpose. And so I still have these existential fears, these existential questions that I thought would be resolved, but which obviously are not. And I think maybe that's the same kind of thing that you're in, where maybe you're even used to not having a lot of stability. And so now that everything is stable, you're like, well, what do I do now? Because I don't want to just sit here and appreciate it. I want to try something new. And your future self wants you to know that you really have all of the resources and the willpower and the perseverance to accomplish your goals. And that's evidenced by the Knight of Pentacles in the middle of your spread. So a lot of you could be Virgos or have a prominent Virgo placement in your natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or have another Earth sign placement, so Taurus or Capricorn. But generally, you embody this Knight of Pentacles energy, which is that once you decide to do something, you do it to the best of your ability. You're very hardworking. You are patient. You're resilient. And that has really lended you a lot of the qualities that you needed to even get to the place where you are now, where you are very comfortable, where you feel like you have established these connections around you. But with the Four of Pentacles in reverse here, you are also someone who maybe you feel like once you have something good, you're kind of scared that it's going to be taken away. And so it's difficult for you to want to leave something behind when it feels like it might be the only good thing that you have or that you can get, or when it feels uncomfortable to pursue something new that maybe you haven't tried before. So, for example, maybe you have been working at the same job for years and it pays you well, you like the people there, but the job itself is not really fulfilling you, or maybe you're a little bored, you're ready to move on, but you're also scared to leave that job and try to find something new because you're afraid that the work environment won't be as great, or maybe you won't get paid as much, whatever that situation is. Maybe you are interested in pursuing a romantic relationship. Maybe you've been single for a while, but it's really scary for you to put yourself out there because you are so used to being self-reliant and depending on yourself only that it's hard for you to open up and be emotionally vulnerable with new people. Whatever it is, there's some kind of fear of the instability of the unknown that's holding you back, but your future self is really encouraging you with this Two of Wands at the end of your spread to picture the future that you want. Just take time imagining what it looks like. If you could have anything that you wanted in the world, what would it be? And taking the time to think, okay, what are the steps that I would need to take in order to get there? Because especially since you embody this Knight of Pentacles energy, you do have the planning and the foresight and the practicality to know what it would take to get there. So really it's about combining this passion that you have, these visions for your future, this daydream vision, whatever it is, with the resources and the qualities that you already have to kind of meet it in the middle and dispel this Four of Pentacles and reverse energy of feeling afraid of letting something go or moving forward or making yourself vulnerable. And that's all encapsulated also in the pile marker that you selected, Imagine and Envision, which obviously is all about imagining your future. What do you want to get out of life? What do you want to happen to you? What would happen in your wildest dreams? And it's being able to reconcile that you don't have to be stagnant in order to be comfortable. You don't have to live your life in the same way every single day. You are allowed to branch out and try new things and maybe even experience failure because that's how you learn and grow. But you have to put yourself out there and take that risk before you can experience all of these wonderful things that you've dreamed about. So your first Making Magic card is Mystic Star, which says harmony in the home and great friendships. So this to me goes with that 10 of Pentacles and the Hangman, which is that you already have a lot of great things. And that's why it might be so difficult for you to be like, but I still feel like I'm kind of missing out on this one thing, because you don't want to feel ungrateful or you don't want to compromise the goodness that you already have. And so that's why it's kind of difficult for you to even admit that I still want this thing. I really want this thing and I want to pursue it, but I'm scared of putting myself out there or taking that risk. And your second Making Magic card is Star, which says the silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. So good luck, exactly. That's what I'm getting with this Two of Wands. You have the resources that you need. You just have to plan it and execute it, and you can get whatever it is that you envision. You have the whole world in your hand, literally. Look at this Two of Wands card. They're holding the hand. You can make all of these things that you've been dreaming about happen. You just have to get over your fear of becoming vulnerable or maybe disrupting the stability that you've cultivated in order to get there. All right, my pile threes, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, Affirmation for Healing the Heart, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the High Priestess, the 9 of Wands in reverse, the 8 of Pentacles, the Emperor, and Temperance. For your Making Magic cards, we got Safe and Happy Travel and Happy Love. All right, my pile 4, so what is your advice from the future? We start off your spread with this High Priestess, and what I'm hearing is that for a lot of you, in particular when it comes to love, you've really been wishing for someone to come in. You've been wishing for your dream person. You've been wishing for the kind of partnership that you want in your life. You've been thinking about, oh, I wish I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner. And maybe you've been watching a lot of tarot readings, a lot of pick a card readings on YouTube. Maybe you've been doing your own tarot readings in order to kind of predict the future. And it feels almost like you are just living in the anticipation of this thing that hasn't happened yet. And it can be difficult to live in the daydream or in the imagination, in the hopes and the wants, because if it really contrasts with what your reality is, then it almost feels like by being hopeful, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And I think that this is a dialogue that you've been having with yourself a lot recently, especially because the High Priestess is someone who has a lot of spiritual knowledge and a lot of growth. So it may even be like you went through a breakup and you've been working on yourself so much and you just want someone to care about you in the way that you want to care for another person. You want to be loved, whatever that is. And it feels like you've done all this work. Maybe even your ex has moved on and you feel like they didn't really grow, but they still get to be like in the happy relationship while you're doing all of this really hard work on yourself and you're not getting anywhere. And that can be really frustrating, as I said. And that's really evidenced by this 9 of Wands reverse next in your spread. The 9 of Wands in reverse indicates almost like all work, no play. Like I keep doing all of these things to better myself and make myself like a better potential partner, make myself someone who can make better choices in relationships, and it feels like I'm never really getting any benefit from it. Like maybe I don't tolerate, like I'm not in a relationship with someone that's terrible for me anymore, but also I'm not meeting anyone that's great for me. I just feel like I'm stuck in a stasis where I'm constantly waiting for someone who has done the same work that I have, and I don't feel like I'm there. And the 9 of Wands is what comes after the 9 of Wands is the 10 of Wands, which is the end of the numerical suit of Wands. And the 9s are all about being very close to the ending. So it almost feels like, you feel like you're right there. You just need one push to take it over the edge. You just need someone to come into your life and then it would be fine. But it feels like it's not happening. And because of that, you're giving up hope a little bit. You almost feel like quitting. Maybe you're like, I don't really want to believe in love anymore. I don't want to pursue that. I don't want to deal with it. Maybe you're like, maybe this is how I'm supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to be, solitary and alone. And that is the reality for some people. I mean, some people do end up alone, but I don't think anyone has to be alone, or no one should feel like they have to give up on something that they really want in their lives, because I think we all deserve companionship and none of us deserve to feel lonely, because humans are by nature social creatures. But that's kind of where you've been feeling. And so the advice from the future, your future self, is to embrace this 8 of Pentacles energy. So what does that mean? Well, the High Priestess, the energy you're in of focusing so much on the future, of what you want, of trying to figure out how things are going to go, of being so spiritually inclined, of being so in your head, thinking about all of these things, you've kind of living in your head so much and living in the fantasy so much is removing you from the reality of your day-to-day life, which is that you do have people to care about. You have people who care about you. You have maybe pets that rely on you, that love you. You have friends, family members. You have things that you care about. Maybe you really like music. Maybe you really like art. Maybe you really like making clothing. You have passions, you have things outside of the one thing that you are missing right now that are still fulfilling and great in your life. And a lot of people might be jealous of that. A lot of people also might feel like they're missing out on that. So your future self is advising you to get back in touch with the tangible, with the day-to-day. Focus on what you have around you and let yourself be more in the moment, because I think reconnecting with what you already have, expressing gratitude for what you already have, is going to make the time period that you have to wait for this ideal person to come in for you less excruciating, like mentally and emotionally. And that's what the Eight of Pentacles is all about. I mean, Pentacles are about material realities. So sometimes that's about money, but also I think it can be about things that are sensual. So things around you, things you can touch, things you can feel, things you can hear. Being in the moment. And Eight of Pentacles is all about really not only working hard to cultivate those things, to do those things, to have them in your life, but also enjoying what you have in your life. So that means really focusing on maybe the day-to-day instead of living in the future. So what is something that I can look forward to today? Maybe you go home and you make a really nice pasta. Maybe your favorite singer is putting out a new album and you're really excited to go listen to that. Maybe you're going to go to the park on Saturday. You need to start making more plans for yourself now. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Like I said, it could just be a meal. It could be a new album coming out. Because when you have things to look forward to in your day-to-day life, it puts less pressure on this imaginary future, and you stop banking your happiness on when you're going to hit a specific milestone. In this case, it feels like for a lot of you it's love. So maybe you think, when I find someone to be in a relationship with, then I'll finally be able to enjoy my life. Or when I feel like I've hit this milestone, then I'll feel comfortable dating. And then once I can do that, then I'll be happy. But you have all of these opportunities to be happy in your life already. You have all of these things to care about. And it might take some work to, bring more joy into your life, bring more pleasure into your life, and focus on that. But I think it will be worth it in the end, because when you start enjoying your day-to-day life, it will make it a lot easier to wait for this Emperor figure to come in, this fourth card in your spread. The Emperor is like all four kings in the tarot combined. So the King of Wands, King of Swords, King of Cups, King of Pentacles. This is someone who is very attractive, loyal, compassionate, passionate, exciting, adventurous, emotionally intelligent, sweet, poetic, stable, providing, protective, intellectual. They have all of these really amazing qualities. And the Emperor is also someone who represents stability. So when this person does come into your life, this is not going to be a fleeting person. Whereas right now, if you were like, I just want someone to date right now, you might get someone, but it's not necessarily going to be the person that has all of these qualities that you've been looking for, who complements your life, who adds to your life, or who will be there for you long term. Whereas I do see that this person that comes in will be, this person could be in Aries or have a prominent Aries placement in their natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But like I said, I do think you have to wait a little bit for this person come in for you, because the next card we have is Temperance, which is a card about patience. It's about balance and finding the middle ground. So the middle ground between being completely in your head, looking forward to the future, trying to figure out when this thing is going to happen for you, banking your happiness, banking how you feel about yourself on whether or not you have a romantic interest at this moment in time, versus living in the moment, being able to appreciate the things that you already do for yourself. So it's not saying that you have to give up on love and just focus on yourself completely, but it's saying that being in your head too much about it or focusing on it too much is the thing that is upsetting you or making you miserable. So again, all about finding that middle ground, because your person will come in, but it might not be at the time that you want. And so it's better to be able to work on pleasing yourself in the way that you imagine this person will please you. Do the things for yourself that you want someone else to do for you, because you can always do them for yourself. Even if you and this person didn't work out, you can always be there for you. And I think that's a really big lesson that a lot of people have to learn throughout their lifetime. And it's all really reflected in the pile marker that you selected, which says affirmation for healing the heart. And it depicts this person crying on the couch. They're kind of cuddled up next to someone. They've got their dog and their cat, and they've got some sage burning and the fireplace on. And this card is all about when you feel heartbroken, when you feel like you have no one, when you've lost something, when you feel disappointed. It's very easy to dwell on that. And sometimes the best way to remove yourself from that mindset or letting it cloud your day and make you kind of blind to the things that you have to be appreciative about is to reach out to someone that you care about, something that you care about, spend some time with a pet. Do one thing a day that will put a smile on your face. And if you feel like there's nothing for me to smile about, then do something once a day to put a smile on someone else's face, because just those little moments of practicing affection, gratitude, appreciation for the people and world around you will make it so much easier to say, I still am surrounded by love, even when I feel like I don't have this one specific kind of love that I really want. So your first Making Magic card is Safe and Happy Travel, which says protection from harm when journeying. And to me, this goes with that Eight of Pentacles, because it's all about being able to enjoy the journey before you get to the destination. Because right now it feels like you're not enjoying the journey. You're impatient. You just want it to happen. You're sick of waiting. You feel like there's something wrong because you have been waiting and you feel like you've done all this work and you're not seeing anything. But again, the advice is to make the journey towards the person that you want to be with, who you're going to be with, fun for you. Don't make it all about waiting for this person, because you have such a rich life around you that you can appreciate, that you can grow, that you can let blossom in this waiting period. Your second Making Magic card is Happy Love, which says a joyful, stable partnership and good friends, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have all of that right now, so it's about, one, appreciating the joyful, stable partnerships that you already have, whether that's with friends, family members, coworkers, with your pets, with your hobbies, with your homes, whatever. And it's also going to be the kind of partnership that you have with this Emperor figure that is coming in for you. And that is really beautiful. So congratulations, my pile fours. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.